Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, we got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. And whichever platform that you're watching this on, that you want to be a part of, whichever platform you're watching, all you have to do is go to the comments. Was it E360 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. If you want to be part of the conversation, just go to the platform to ask any question that you might have because we got two absolutely wonderful guests. And it's related to, and one of my best topics in the world is I'm a military veteran, 23 years Navy, go Navy, and it's always great to have a guest on that's been part of the service and actually uh, reaching out to service and veterans that have served, and also in the communities to make our communities better, to also educate and teach and show people how to become entrepreneurs based on their skills and abilities that they have attained. And one of the things that my good friend Al Renterio is 12th year of this event that he's putting on, the Southern California Veteran Business event. It's going to be happening the 25th of September. And there will be several vendors there that are also out to reach out and show what they're doing and also help veterans that are already out there and also who is transitioning to from active duty to being veterans and just the communities in general. So we got two guests here that are going to discuss a lot of the things that are so important to them, their businesses and how they are helping and reaching out to, I wouldn't just say Southern California because it's the world. It's the world. And we need entrepreneurs, we need educators, we need people that are already transitioned that's in the game, that's doing extremely well and just reaching out and touching everybody else. So let me tell you about it. The title of the show is Military Experiences Transfers to Entrepreneur and Learning the Ropes. Gotta learn the ropes, so you have to learn the ropes. And that's a couple of things that is going to happen today, learning the ropes. And we got two absolutely fantastic folks that are going to come on. We got Traci Cole. And a little bit about Traci is Traci, we're going to get a chance to know her. She is the director of the Southern California Veteran Business Outreach Center in Southern California. And we're going to get an opportunity to know a little bit about her. We're going to discuss how military experience transferred to entrepreneurship. We also going to discuss how owning your existing businesses and how you can transfer those into other businesses and also help others out. So that's a couple of things we're going to talk about with Trace. But we also got this other absolutely fantastic guest. Her name is Elizabeth Liz Perez. And a little bit about Liz is we're going to get an opportunity to know the uh, Navy Native American veteran. Navy. And Liz has also held down a lot of key positions, still hold down a couple of business owners and all that. She was foreign deputy secretary of California Department of Veterans Affairs and Minority and Underrepresented Veterans. We also going to discuss entrepreneurship and veterans entrepreneur in general. And we're just going to talk about a whole lot of these things. So again, I tell you what, join in on the conversation. Let me bring both of these absolutely fantastic guests to the show. Ladies, how are you doing today? How you doing? Welcome to the James Cooley Show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to this show, inviting us to the show, Dr. Cooley, and just a pleasure to be here and hoping to give any insights that I can.
Well, I have read and I did my research, and both you all are packed with details, lots of insight and experience. So want to start off with you first, Tracy. Can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about you, where you grew up? Uh,
Sure.
just you got 2 minutes, so let's. I'm
Great. So, yes, I grew up in Detroit suburb and attended the public schools there. I attended the University of Michigan, and then worked in the corporate world for a while before I went to graduate school at the University of Detroit, and then onward to another graduate degree at Northwestern, for where I got my master's of engineering management. But throughout my life, I've always had kind of a yearning to do entrepreneurship, from, very early on, passing out notes down the street and around the neighborhoods to be a babysitter, right? And then doing a paper route. And then when I was in graduate school, owning a Kumon Mass Center. So I always knew there was an entrepreneurial spirit. But of course, my dad is also a veteran, and he is of the Army. But he kind of like instilled in me, what it is to give back. And so I definitely think I got that from him. And serving our veterans and helping them become entrepreneurs is the place I should be in. After all those corporate jobs, I think that I'm in the best place. I have my own business, and I learn all of the mistakes so that I can pass on all of the wise judgment to our fellow veterans so they won't make those same mistakes and they can prosper in entrepreneurship.
wow. So we're gonna get deep into that in a few minutes. Liz, can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about you, your background, and what keeps you going?
Sure. Well, there's a lot that keeps me going. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, as we were talking behind the stage there, in my 40s, I've just learned to just slow down a bit and really just embrace life. And so my background, I'm originally from Central Valley, California, a lot of agriculture, a lot of farming, construction, blue collar community, and also veterans. I have a lot of military service, generations of military service in my family. I'm a tribally enrolled member of Norfolk Rancheria, Mono Indians, and also Pima, Salt River Indians, and out of Arizona. And Norfolk Rancheria is just right outside Yosemite. And I mention that because being both Mexican American and Native American, I didn't come for money. We had to really invent a lot of things and be entrepreneurs ourselves throughout life. Growing up, we couldn't afford clothes, so I did a lot of paper throwing, mowing the lawns, that kind of thing. Had my babysitting business, so always being creative. And then, of course, serving in uniform was something that was just instilled in me as part of my DNA. My dad served in the Army. Grandfather served Navy. My dad said I should have went in the Army and motivated me to join the Navy. But, fast forward now, I own 4 companies, and I'll talk about that. And I had some time during some political service, served was appointed under Governor Brown and Governor Newsom, and I transitioned from the deputy secretary role in 2019.
Wow. So just like I was telling our viewers and listeners, a broad sense of experience and all of the things, from the military to veterans to business ownership and etc. So we're gonna delve off deep into that one. Tracy, did you always, want to be an entrepreneur, or is it something that hit you as you was serving, as you was growing, as you was educating yourself? What was the turning point when you said, hey, this is what I want to do?
I think entrepreneurship came suddenly at one point in my adulthood. I've already had my kids. My husband and I were living overseas, and I came back with a product that was only overseas and it was new to the United States. And so I had friends saying, "Oh, that's great. I want to use that product." And I'm thinking, "Oh, is this time to be an entrepreneur officially as an adult?" And with kids at home, they're like toddlers. So that's how I actually got into it. But seeing my dad and my mom own a dry cleaners when I was younger and working at the dry cleaners, I was introduced to entrepreneurship very early. So, working with customers and doing tasks and learning things that I never thought I'd be doing on a Saturday when my kids were, or when my friends were playing, right? I was at the dry cleaners. So I think I had that in me early on, but then I was presented with my first opportunity and I became an entrepreneur supplying to Fortune 500 companies my product. And then the bug just continually comes all the time. Like I have so many ideas for entrepreneurship that different types of business, I have to pick one and just keep going with that same one. So now I'm on my second venture right now in the caregiving industry, actually. So having taken care of my dad with Alzheimer's, how could I make it easier and better where he wouldn't lose his dignity and I wouldn't be embarrassed while we're bathing and helping him? That I created a product that would help all entrepreneurs or all caregivers and loved ones, have a better existence, right? A better quality of life. And so when I work with veterans now that want to be entrepreneurs, I know from my experience, I want them to feel that same satisfaction that they're helping someone, they're solving a problem. And how can that satisfy them as well as their customer segments?
Wow. So this is absolutely incredible because of what you all both do. I mean, we truly need that, not just in the United States, not just in the veteran community, but in the world. And, having the entrepreneur spirit and having vision, understanding and focus, where you take an idea that it might not seem possible at the time because it's an idea, and you focus in on what you're trying to do with an understanding of what it's going to require, to get you there. So I applaud both of you. And Liz, now you were telling about the family history of the military, your dad and all that, so, and you followed suit. But did you ever think that coming out the military that you was going to venture into the different businesses that you are part of? And did you always have an entrepreneurial spirit as well?
So yes and yes. And and that I'm going to say, number one, my dad, he's no longer here. He actually unfortunately passed away when I was 17. And so, like I said, I was going to join the military anyway. We had this discussion and he really did say, go Navy, not Army. And I remember that. And, it's always been a part of me, the military. I grew up in it. And when I say I wore my dad's combat boots, I really did. I used to salute when I heard colors and reveille living on the base. So those are good memories as a child. And I was always just proud to be American, proud to have all this opportunity. My dad, that was a lot of what my dad instilled in me. And I'm saying all this because he came to the US not as a citizen. And part of that is he said, you create your success, you create your story. And I believe in that tremendously. And he says, in America, you have all this opportunity. And he says, in so many words, he said, you have no idea how spoiled you guys are, how lucky you are compared to when I was a kid. And he told us about his hard knock life. And I really took that in. I embraced it. I said, you know what? Every generation gets better. And my dad was right. And my mom as well, and it's part of our Native American history. But to fast forward, yes, I did believe that I would own a business someday. I didn't know what that was. When I was active duty, my job was in aviation logistics specialist. It's a fancy term for SK, AK, and now LS, logistics specialist. And I did a lot of government contracting, but on the other side of the conference room or table. And I took a look at that and I talked to a lot of our buyers. I said, hey, how did you do this? How do you go about doing it? And a lot of them were veterans that we were buying from. And I got that idea and I had this GSA book, and the rest is kind of history, what I decided to do. Now, when it comes to where I'm doing today, did I know what I was going to get into? Renewable energy. I'm a renewable energy developer. My company is GC Green. I'm a renewable energy developer. I'm a licensed B general contractor here in California. And my business partners have both A, B, and C license, including my B. We've been doing this for over 14 years. We work with a lot of underserved communities and taking a look at deploying microgrid opportunities and work in the clean energy space. We do a lot of workforce development. And that didn't happen overnight. It happened throughout my story, my passion, and where I was deployed, and seeing that our dependency on fossil fuels. And this is way back before President Obama got in office. And when President Obama got in office, it was like, wow, it was gangbusters. But then we had a little bit of a pause, but not here in California so much. California, we've always been, pushing on clean energy. And when you're talking Native American, climate change is banging on our front door. We have fires, we have floods, we have a lot of issues. And maybe you don't want to call it climate change, but there's climate shifts. Something's going on. And we now have hurricanes here in San Diego. And we have to be more resilient and prepared. Another thing that happened was COVID. Started at Ohobe Health. Ohobe is strong and resilient in mono. And I started that because another personal story is my family not having access to health care.
Hey, Liz, hold that thought. We got to take a stage break.
We have a lot going on.
But we going to come back. I mean, we're going to get to all of this. And then we're also going to talk about the 12th annual Southern California Business event that's coming up. So I'll tell you what, whichever platform that you watch this on, I know you're excited already. I am. So you want to be part of the conversation. All you do is go to the comments, ask these two great guests any questions that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life. We'll see you shortly after the break.
We are not a charity. We are veterans. We are warriors, brothers, and sisters. We don't need, we deliver. OpsForVets.com. Handshakes, not handouts.
I'm Albert Rencheria, Marine Chief Warrant Officer 4 retired, Ops for Vets CEO. I invite you to take a look at our organization. You'll quickly understand why out of thousands of groups currently serving our veterans, we have become the most rapidly growing and opportunity-rich team in the market. We have deployed dynamic distributors who are responsible for servicing and growing their regions, East, Central, and West. We provide a complete roster of high-caliber services, produced to create the results you require. Find us on the web at www.opsforvets.com. Handshakes, not handouts.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And as you see, I got two absolutely fantastic guests that's on today. Both are veterans, and so am I. And so that's put us in an absolutely wonderful company, and also put you in wonderful company because just like veterans, just like active duty, just like farmers, we serve to protect, but we also serve to prepare ourselves, not only protecting this great country, but protecting each and every last one of you. And expectations is that when we do decide to move out and go forward to something different, that we have attained the experience to go and do certain things, and or we can learn from great guests like we have on the show today. that can educate us and teach us because they already been in the game. You have to learn the ropes. You have to learn the ropes. You just can't jump off into something and expect to do it well, because it takes a lot of sweat and tears, and it takes a lot of, falling down sometime, but jumping right back up and being able to move forward. So with that being said, Traci, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your company and some of the products that you all are generating? I know you mentioned the healthcare a few minutes ago, and we'll get back with you in a minute, Liz.
Okay. So you want me to talk about my personal product or the Veterans Business Outreach Center?
We're going to talk about both of those things,
Okay.
but some of the things. Well, we're going to talk
Sure.
about the Veteran Center. That's coming up.
Definitely. Definitely. So as I said, and I kind of intertwined this with being a consultant to veterans, that I use my own experiences of solving problems to create companies. And then my recent company is a caregiving company that creates a consumer product that we bring dignity back to bathing for loved ones who are caring for their, they're being cared for by their caregivers. So if you had to take care of your mom or your dad and you had to undress them and put them in the shower, we spend our whole lives covering our bodies, and now all of a sudden they need help and we expect them to just be naked in front of us. So I created a product that allows you to put onto a loved one before you undress them, and they can wear it right into the shower, use it as a washcloth. It provides safety where you can hold on to them without them slipping and falling. You can pay attention to their movements. You can have conversation. Somebody's not looking away or are feeling embarrassed or losing their dignity. And so from my own experience as a child, having been born with a physical disability, I know what it feels like when people stare at you. When I wore shorts and people would stare at my leg and it had scars on it. And I kind of, use that empathy to understand how it may feel for my dad to be in the shower naked in front of me. So that's where it came from. And I'm very passionate about, changing lives. And a lot of my customers say, you've really changed the relationship between me and my parent, because now I can care for them and focus on them and not these really uncomfortable feelings. So when I'm working with veterans and helping them be entrepreneurs, I try to pull out things from their life that they may have problems with. And maybe that's a way to create a business for them. So these personal experiences relate into my daily life with working with veterans. So that's pretty much how it happens.
Yeah, let's talk about the upcoming event, the Southern California Veteran Business Conference that's coming up. I think this is the 12th annual coming up, and both of you all are so inspirational and working with. I call him Big Al. Yeah, and putting this, because he is so passionate about everything he does, especially when he's working with the veterans and making sure that they understand that when you make that decision to transition over, that he has folks that are lined up to help educate and teach them the ropes. And so I want to start off with you, Liz, on this one. I know you're not going to be the keynote there this time, because you great opportunities came your way, but you're going to be there in heart and spirit, and you'll be able to watch it on television and all that other great stuff. Tell us what veterans that were active duty and veterans have not made that decision to click in entrepreneurship, etc. What would you tell them? Especially when they know they're getting out of the service. How would you inform or educate them on, hey, this is what you might need to do?
Sure. I just want to piggyback off of what Traci had mentioned, and that's your own personal experience and that empathy, right? Because of that personal experience, you're able to help others. You're able to even really to dive in deeper with your business, because that's your passion. If your business is your passion, your business is what that personal experience is driven from, I think that would make you even that more successful as an entrepreneur. So back to your question, Dr. Cooley, excuse me. I would say definitely take a look at what you're passionate about, what your experiences were in the military, how that experience and that passion can play a part of possibly becoming your business. And even taking a look at your personal story, creating your personal story, and how that drives you as a veteran. I know that didn't come from me right away. It took, actually, I'll be very honest, maybe 3 to 4 years to really put that together, to actually find that and navigating through that and learning the ropes, as you will, and trying to really understand, what is my story? Why am I doing this? Is it not just money? Is it just money? I don't know. I live in Southern California, so we know we need to make money here. But I think a lot of it, just trying to make money alone isn't going to make you successful. I think it really has to come from your heart, what drives you, what makes you happy, what makes you excited. And for me, it was my story, my experience on deployment, and seeing that, as I was mentioning, our thirst for oil, our thirst for, unfortunately, the things that we were fighting for and what we still fight for is oil. And taking a look at what we can do here at home to become more energy efficient, to wean off of that. And you could see years later now, this was going on, 17, 18 years ago. I've had my business for 14 years, and that's what makes me get up every day. And even if it's on a weekend or late at night, it doesn't feel like work, because I know I'm making a difference for the environment, but also within underserved communities as well. So hopefully that answers the question.
It does. Our viewers, just in case, I want to, Traci is a veteran's daughter, but she's doing so many great things based on what her dad and all that. So we throw her in the same the same pile with all of us, So, hey Traci, so as director of the Southern Cal Veterans Business Center, can you tell our viewers and listeners exactly what you do? How is this so important? And the veterans that are out there that's looking for direction, and the active duty that's transitioning over to being veterans, how do you all help them out?
Definitely. So, Elizabeth, what I think you were saying also was, you want to make meaning, right, with what your venture is. And so what we do at the Veterans Business Outreach Center is we serve men and women who are active duty. They are Guard, Reserve, veterans, and then their families. So we work with family members as well, like kids and spouses. And what we do is introduce them to entrepreneurship. And then if they're already an entrepreneur, help them grow their business. So that's our mission. And we do that through workshops, one-on-one advising, referring to our network partners, and just finding all of the different resources that can help an aspiring entrepreneur at any stage of that journey, from ideation, as you were saying, Elizabeth, not knowing what you might want to do, having an idea you don't quite know, or even come to us if you don't even have an idea, but you think you might want to be an entrepreneur and you want to learn a little bit about it. We just start working with, like, what is in your past? What have you done in the military? What skills do you have? Because entrepreneurship and military service are very tightly connected. So the skills that you may learn in resilience and determination and doing things you don't necessarily want to do, but you have to do them every single day, are the things that you need for entrepreneurship. And we could just sit here all day and talk about the different attributes you gain in the military that transfer over. But the Small Business Administration, that's who we're funded by, they know there's this direct link between the skills that you learn in the military and success in entrepreneurship. So veterans who become entrepreneurs have a higher success rate than the general population. And so they want to give programs out, give veterans programs like this. So of course they want to create economic vitality in the United States, but also they know that they have a higher chance of being successful at doing something they want to do. So that's why it exists. That's why it's here. And we work every day to try to make entrepreneurs and make somebody's dream come true. So that's our mission and why we're here.
Wow. So we got about 2 minutes before the break. Let's talk about a little bit about, people that are listening to this right now, veterans in Southern California. If they wanted to be present or want to be a part of this upcoming event that's going to be happening the 25th, which is my birthday, by the way. and I'm flying in from Texas to be there in person. Tell them some of the things that they expect to see and get. We can start it with Liz. We got about a minute and a half. We're going to take the break and we'll come back and pick it up from there.
Well, I want to say that number one, I should have mentioned this earlier, but Big Al Retnera, he is amazing. We need more owls, big owls in this world, and especially helping look after our veterans. I met Al when I was serving as deputy secretary, and I met him particularly because I was also overseeing the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise program for California. I was one of the deputies that oversaw it for a couple of years, and we need more owls because we need to continue to grow our disabled veteran business enterprise and our veteran-owned businesses. And to answer your question, there will be about 100 buyers there that are within state and federal and local municipalities. So that's important all its own. And they are looking for veteran-owned companies. And there's actually, the state in general is meeting their goal. There's some departments that need a little nudge. And that's why they're there. They're there because they have goals to meet. And so let's help them meet those goals by showing up and letting them know about your business.
I think that's great. And we're going to leave it at that. We're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back and talk about that a little bit more, a lot more, actually. And I tell you, you want to be part of the conversation. All you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching this on or listening to it on and just ask any question that you might have. Remember, it's your life. We'll see you shortly after the break.
Courage, valor, experience. The values that make veterans are the values that make veteran businesses America's #1 choice. Veteran business owners throughout the nation are ready to connect. OpsForVets.com. Handshakes, not handouts. Ops for Vets connects veterans with business opportunities. Here is a closer look at a featured veteran business. Every business listed is a verified veteran-owned business and can be found in the OpsForVets.com supplier directory. OpsForVets.com. Get on the grid.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be honored to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, I'm tickled pink because I'm learning so much from these two young ladies and the entrepreneurs, and they are running their own companies, doing things, inspiring, educating, teaching, so influencing others. That if you got the right mindset, or you develop the right mindset, you can do anything. You can do anything that you set your mind to. You might not see it instantly with the naked eyes, but as long as you can see it up here, if you can dream, like I always say, dream big. Got to dream big. You have to think big, and you have to be big, because a lot of times we're gonna get knocked down. We're gonna get knocked down, and if we stay down, we just lay down for the count. You got to jump back up, because success is earned. And then, once you're doing this, you're walking down the street, whatever that is, and when it hits you, know that this is what you're supposed to do. So, and just like we talking about right now, we got this event coming up this 25th of September in Moreno Valley, and we're going to start talking about that a little bit more. And Big Al, I see that you're watching. And I just want to thank you, my friend, my great friend, Big Al, for the passion, the heart. And I mean, you believe in everybody, especially our veterans. Continue to dream big, continue to inspire others to be the best that they can be. So I want to pick it up with you, Traci. We were talking about the last question I asked is what people expect to get from this event. And I know, Liz, you mentioned there's 100 or over 100 vendors that's going to be there. And for the veterans that are listening and watching right now, that's on the fence. If you're not there, you will still be able to see what's going on. It's going to be televised through a lot of different mechanisms. So you're not going to miss out. We're going to make sure that you're not going to miss out. But so Traci, we're picking it up with you. Can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit more about the event?
Sure. You will get to see, as Elizabeth said, a lot of businesses that are there, and those who want to work with you in terms of government contracting. But you're also going to meet resource partners that can help you start a business and grow a business. We'll be there, so I'll be there. My advisors will be there. My client success coordinator will be there. She's the one who takes you and makes sure your journey with us is successful. And so you can come and talk to us one-on-one and get yourself an appointment, get signed up, and learn what the first step is in creating a business. You're also going to hear a panel, and our amazing advisor and instructor, Daryl Steele, will be moderating the panel, asking a lot of amazing questions to the guest entrepreneurs. And what are the obstacles that have they met along the way? What did they do about it? Who did they get help from? Because nobody does this alone. It's as an entrepreneur, you're by yourself sometimes in the garage trying to figure out a product you're creating, and you need to work with others who can mentor you and guide you. So these panelists will tell you what they did and how they became successful. We can help you. And then anybody in the organization that you see there through Al's organization, other businesses, it's just a wealth of information and knowledge. And it's also to kind of get you excited about doing your own thing as well.
Oh yeah. I'm excited. I can't wait. I was there last year.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed, that was my first time being there. I really enjoyed everything that was going in. And guess what? Last year, I got there. It was on my birthday. So this seemed like an annual birthday thing that I jump in, fly in from Texas there, enjoy these things. Let me ask you something. So both of you are on multiple businesses and doing great things. Do you all look for veterans? I'm sure you do, to be employees in what you all are doing, especially if they fit the bills. And how would they know, and what type of skill sets would they need to have in order to be part of your philosophy in your company and organization for employment? Let's start with you, Liz.
Yes, absolutely. That's actually part of our business model. As a general contractor, we are always part of our business model is to team with other veteran-owned companies. So we have our veteran workforce, if you will. So a veteran electrician. So we're always looking to team with certified, licensed electricians, welders, plumbers. Right now, we're doing a lot of different renewable energy development work, and we give calls throughout the state looking for different veteran-owned companies. And a lot of my network know that, and I give them a call all the time if there's an opportunity. Hey, I have this here, Sacramento, Clovis, down here by the border. You know, there's always opportunity. There's so much opportunity, and this I really, 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 really want to. If there's anything you can get today, is that there's so much pie, there's so much opportunity that there's opportunity to share. And we have to work together as veterans, even more so, 10 times more so as women veterans. So don't feel like, oh, this is all mine. I need to take, stepping over each other. We don't do that. I'm just saying, like, I'll be honest, I was homeless. I had my clothes and everything in a trash bag at Motel 6, 5 months pregnant with my 7-year-old daughter. Trust me, there's a lot of opportunity, and it didn't, come from just saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and, cashing in my checks. It didn't happen that way. There was a lot of hurdles, a lot of struggles along the way, but that made me stronger. That made me wiser. And I know there's a lot of men and women veterans, brothers and sisters out there. We owe it to each other because we're a small percentage of our workforce of entrepreneurs out there to work together. And I surround yourself with that small circle that you can trust, that will empower you. The Dr. Coolies, the Traci Coles of the world, the Big Owls, because we need to work together, and there's plenty of pie. And if you can't work with somebody that doesn't have that vision, that doesn't see that, bye.
And you're absolutely right, because you have to have the vision. I call it the VOC, vision, understanding, focus. And if you got that, especially veterans, a lot of times we come out and we don't know what we're going to do. We have no direction. We come out confused. Many of us have PTSD. I said us. I'm one of them. PTSD, and we don't have the sense of direction. But when we meet folks, just like what you just described, Liz, that can really get us some direction, put us on the right path, that's when we know that we can. So, Traci, what are your thoughts? I know you have veterans and et cetera just as well. Can you tell our viewers and our listeners about that?
Well, interestingly, I've hired a lot of veteran businesses, not necessarily for my personal business, because I'm like kind of a one-woman shop, but for my personal life. So I have hired veterans through the VBOC to do work in my home or to refer to other friends and family in the network, because I know that there's going to be a sense of trust and credibility just for the fact that they're a veteran and they have their own business, or they maybe want to get into a business. In terms of a veteran coming to us and asking us for help in terms of employment, since we don't do that at the VBOC, but we have a ton of resources that we can refer veterans to. And if they don't have skills that they want to attain, we can refer them to places where they can gain skills. So we like to navigate any veteran that's looking for skills, looking for a job, whether it's through employment or it's through entrepreneurship, to find them the right person, the right resource to help them move forward. One of them referred to is the off-base transitional program through the Department of Defense, your transition officers, so the family readiness programs. And then there's a lot of private and public corporations like Salesforce, where they have something called VetForce. Well, they will train veterans for free to do up and coming technology careers. So we are really out, and the important thing for us is to get out in the community and find out what's available. So when someone comes to us, and if entrepreneurship isn't right for them, we have other places to send them that help them on that journey.
Wow. You just mentioned a program that I think I was talking to Big Al the other day about, veterans training program, 6 months prior to getting out, or something similar to that. Can you, we got a minute before the break. Can you talk about that a little bit?
In terms of a 6-month type program, like a veterans readiness program, where the VA or
Veteran readiness, veteran transitioning to.
Yeah. So so on base, before you get out, there is that transition program. So you can choose educational route or employment route or an entrepreneurial route. And so we happen to be in the entrepreneurial route track, where we come in and we teach those who are transitioning all about entrepreneurship. So we give them the skills to learn, do I want to be an entrepreneur? First of all, what does it entail? So that's when we talk about all the skills that transfer over. And then we talk about, what is your daily life going to look like as an entrepreneur? We talk about, do you have an opportunity to create to create a business? So through these 8 modules, it's your first 2 days of training for skills. And we get a lot of questions. We do a lot of referrals actually in our program, where we will give out advisors' names. We will give out SCORE. If anybody has heard of SCORE, it's an organization that's full of volunteers, and they can guide you in a business. So even if you're not sure entrepreneur is right for you, you can get a SCORE mentor and learn about that type of business from somebody who's done it. And if you decide entrepreneur is not right for you, maybe they have connections in the industry, and you can get a job through that. So our training is a 2-day training, and it really just tells you everything that you may entail in entrepreneurship. And then we, of course, will bring them into the VBOC and put them through other types of trainings. Maybe it's lean methodology, or we refer them to the Rosie Network or to the SBA office, where they will get on a learning platform or a different program. So there's so many ways and so many different types of training opportunities throughout our network that we could spend the whole 2 hours just talking about different training opportunities.
Wow. We got to take a station break, but that's got to be a new program, because I don't remember it being around when I was getting out the surge. But that's okay. We're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back and we're going to continue this discussion with these 2 great absolute guests, Traci Cole and Liz Perez. And I tell you what, it ain't too late. We want to be part of the conversation. I do put this conversation, the question you might have. It's your life. We'll see you shortly after the break.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Come back to James Cooley Show is Your Life. And wow, I have to say it. I mean, because when you're having fun, when you got great guests on, you're being educated, time flies. We got the better part of 6 minutes to go in the show. And wow, I just want to tell these two young ladies right now, bottom of my heart, you are both are incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible in the things that you are doing. I mean, I can't say enough, and I know we only got about 5 minutes of the show, but I want to tell you right now that this is incredible what you all are doing. I'm looking forward to this event that's coming up on the 25th, and I see that you see that Big Al just responded to the program that you were talking about, Traci, called DoD Skill Bridge. Big Al always gonna keep us in line. You already know that.
Right. He uses the proper terminology, right? The Skills Bridge program, exactly. Yes.
I tell you, I'm going to be there, and we're gonna be broadcasting live. It's Your Life, It's Your Life show. Gonna be broadcasting, but we're also gonna be doing book signings as well. Got a couple of new books, actually 4, but we're gonna be pushing the Black Man Point of View, Mind, Body, and Soul. So come by and check out our books and do all these other things. Meet Traci. You will still be able to meet Liz. Even though she might not be in person, she might call into the show or pop in and she can say a couple of things. But we're gonna try to make that happen if we can. So with that being said, the skill bridge. I want to talk about that a little bit more when I'm there because we don't have that type of time. Right now, what I want to talk about right now is takeaways from today's show. We got about 3 minutes. I want to start off with you, Liz. What do you want to leave the audience with on this great discussion that we had?
Yeah, so I'm just really just trying to think about that and trying to put all that into one. And what I would say is, in addition to what I mentioned earlier, whatever that your story is, that passion is, also get involved. So be a part of that change in that industry. For myself, it was getting involved locally, joining different chambers. If you see something you're not exactly happy with it, be a part of the solution. And if you would have asked me years ago, like, how could I have changed things for the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Program for the state, I was not that happy with it. And there are some things that needs to be fixed. And I ended up overseeing the program for the state of California as a deputy secretary. That was a big deal. And what we still have an issue with, and Al, if he's still on here, this is a big issue, big takeaway. Don't be scared to call out the bad players when it comes to these prime contractors that are hiring these veterans. They use our names and they put them on contracts. And sometimes we don't even know that they're doing this. And we find out later, or they put us on contracts and then they don't hire us. These are non-veteran owned companies.
So we have to call those bad players out. What about you? What about you, Traci? What you want to leave our viewers with?
So mine is, there's help out there for it. You don't have to know what you want to do, especially if you're transitioning out or you've been out of the military for a while. It's your chance to investigate and be true to yourself. And as you say, to love yourself, to honor yourself, and to find people that will help you do that. And so that's what I like to say. And that's what we're here at the VBOC for, is to guide you through that and to find you those resources. And just come talk to us.
Wow. I want to leave with one departing message is, I tell you, veterans, I mean, whether you're there or not, you will still be able to be part of the 12th annual VBOC program that's coming up in Moreno Valley, September 25th, starting. I think we started by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, going to go all the way up to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time now. So you will have an opportunity. Big Al is going to make sure that he send all the links out to everybody to be a part of this. And I just want to just say, hey, Big Al, I talk to you all the time. Man, you are fantastic. I love your spirit. I love everything that you're doing. And I love that you put me in contact with these two wonderful, wonderful guests that we had today. So I want to thank both of you all for taking the time to come on the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. Looking forward to seeing you guys again, working with you all again as well. I will be there on the 25th. I'd like to thank Big Al again. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another fantastic show like she always does. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers, our listeners, for tuning in to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and also Sunday on the radios across the country. Remember always to dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Remember, it's your life, and we'll see you tomorrow. See you.